Hi, my name is Jaime Garza.
And I'm Peter Vale, and welcome to Urban Canvas, Pilsen's Economic Renaissance. And we're here today to talk about what happened over the Memorial Day weekend with Mole de Mayo.
Yeah, so ESDC organized the 15th annual Mole de Mayo festival in Pilsen. It's an event that features local arts, live music, lucha libre, and of course, mole is one of the main things about the festival.
And probably most would say the main attraction. We did notice that this year, a lot of people noticed that the festival had moved from its original location, which originally was over by Blue Island, between Blue Island and Ashland on 18th Street. However, this year it moved.
Yeah, so I mean, throughout the years, the festival has been around for 15 years. It started off really small on Paulina and 18th Street. A few hundred people would show up. It's moved about 3 or 4 times, but I think this time was the biggest impact. Since having a few hundred people, the first Mole de Mayo, to now having over 100,000 people show up in 3 days to check out the music and the art and the food was really incredible. We had a lot of fun.
So I know that with the move, of course, we had to make sure that we were considerate of the neighbors that were around, and we definitely did work with the neighbors closely in order to make sure that it was enjoyable for everyone, including the neighbors.
Yeah, we included a few businesses that are on that space. We also talked to the alderman's office and a few residents, that were just interested in how it was going to work and provided as much information as possible. An event this big, there's a lot of moving pieces up to the last day. So some of the information we just, we couldn't give out because there were moving parts. But overall, it was a successful event. We had thousands and thousands of people. We have a lot of music. Also, we had beautiful weather. One thing that happened, it did rain for like an hour, but compared to the time that the festival is going on, it was really nothing. It was awesome.
So it was definitely well attended. I was there myself all 3 days, and I got to enjoy the weather. I got to enjoy the music. I got to enjoy the lucha libre. I got to enjoy the food, the ambiance, the crowds, just the entire weekend was magical. And to me, one of my favorite parts of the festival, of course, being a musician, is the music acts that we had.
Yeah, so this year, we try to feature local, national, and international acts. And also, it's music that everyone can enjoy, from kids to the young adults to senior citizens. The message that we bring with the music is also very positive, and we make sure that it's family friendly. There's a few acts that I love, but what were your favorites?
Wow. Some of my favorite acts would have probably been La was really good. Los Desaparecidos. So I know Los Desaparecidos, they're from
Chile.
They're from Chile. So we had an actor from Chile. La is
She's from Peru.
From Peru, okay. And then, of course, we had local acts. We had the return of Los Vicios de Papá, which is always a neighborhood favorite. And then I definitely enjoyed performing myself with our group.
Yeah, with Dos Santos, we're also performing musicians, and always give the chance to. We always have the opportunity to perform in front of our own neighbors. So having Dos Santos at the festival for the quinceañera of the festival was really, really special. The weather was nice, and a lot of the acts, Pete was saying, Lala from Peru was something very special. She performed at our 2020 virtual Mole de Mayo. So we kind of were already working on it for 4 years, and some of these things that happen, sometimes take this long, and that's why there's a more expectation, and it's a lot. It's very exciting because you've been working on it for so long, and to finally have her here and really share her beautiful music and her amazing singing, was something very, very special.
Well, so I know that Pilsen, being an artistic community, would appreciate the fact that we actually had both stages adorned with humongous alebrijes. Am I correct?
Yes. So Mexican artist Emmanuel, we got connected, and he's like, I have these huge alebrijes, which they're like big sculptures, paper sculptures that are about 13 by 6 feet. They're mythical animals that are manifested in people's dreams. So they're very colorful, and they're also surreal. So they're sometimes based on either an animal, let's say like a cat, but then they have wings, or they have a tail like a snake, or they have claws of a tiger or of another animal.
Right.
But then also they're very colorful all around. And so Emmanuel came through, and he installed a huge alebrije in both of our stages, in our music stages. And it did create kind of like, for a lot of Mexican or Mexican Americans that have been to Mexico, just kind of remember those images and those mythical art pieces that they sell in mercados and that are in museums. So the alebrije is a big thing. And I remember a lot of the movie Coco.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
So that's where I guess the Anglo people that are watching, they could kind of relate and be like, oh, that's the alebrije. And we kind of always showcase art and Mexican art and Mexican culture at Mole de Mayo.
Yeah, it was definitely a magical touch to have those alebrijes be on the stage with the performers. Usually a lot of festivals will have like the video background, or they'll have just a banner. I thought it was really unique for Mole de Mayo to incorporate art from Mexico in the form of alebrijes on the stage. Now, we also had lucha libre, like we do every year. But this year, because of the move, I think the aesthetic of where it was located and the fact that they came back was really something else.
Yeah, so the lucha libre has been at the festival every single year since the first Mole de Mayo. And Gali Lucha Libre are a professional group of luchadores that came through every time. And they're really happy that about the location, because there was a grass area.
Sure.
And they fly 10, 20 feet up in the air.
Definitely very high flying.
And sometimes, fall on the floor. So they're very happy that it was on grass, because they felt a lot more free to perform and to kind of get, kids involved and, and not hurt themselves badly.
Yeah, I got a couple of matches, and I got to see a couple of matches, and yeah, it was very entertaining to see the lucha libre high-flying acts over in Pilsen.
Yeah, and it's another thing that kind of brings back memories of Mexicans or Mexican Americans growing up. We grew up watching lucha either on TV or in person at the rings in Mexico, and they recreate that ambience. And it's a lot of fun, especially for the kids, especially for people that have never seen lucha libre. I think it's a very exciting adrenaline rush, and yes, for sure, it's a lot of fun. We also had what I mentioned. We had a combi, so we had a DJ collective called Combi, led by Pablo and Rick, and so they have this combi, which they transformed it into convertible combi with a sound system and DJ equipment.
So what is a combi?
A combi is a Volkswagen van.
Uh-huh.
And this is a 1972, if I'm not mistaken. And so they kind of restored it and put a sound system and speakers and some turntables. And they have a whole collective of amazing DJs come through and, make people dance, really. Like that area of the festival was
sure.
Really
I made sure to go visit the combi stage simply because I love the music that they were spinning. They were spinning a lot of house music, a lot of urban music. And what stood out to me the most about that area was that there were all ages there. So you have people from maybe Gen X was there, but then you had Gen Z there as well, all enjoying the music because that music just basically in Chicago has not stopped being popular. And I really enjoyed the music that was coming out of La Combi stage.
Yeah, they kind of, they were on Peoria, on the north side of Peoria, kind of closing out the festival. So anyone coming in or coming out, had to enjoy the music
sure.
before they kind of left. It was a very cool touch that we made happen together with Combi, which we're really happy.
So I did notice that it was a lot of people there. It was a very big crowd. I think all 3 days. I know Friday, because we started late, you would have expected maybe the flow of people would have been light. It wasn't like that at all. There were a lot of people from the very start of the festival. And you said how many people you think attended?
We calculate around 100,000 people in all 3 days. And it ranges from all different ages, all different demographics. We have people coming in from the suburbs, but as well as the south side and the west side of Chicago. It's a festival for everyone, really. Anyone in Chicago knows about the festival, and even media companies from Mexico or from Chile or from Peru were also talking about the festival because it's such a cultural festival,
yes,
Latino cultural festival in the U.S. And I think that the reflection that we know how to have fun and that we enjoy good food, I think that speaks very loudly and it resonates for people in other parts of the world.
So, and you say everybody was coming down to the festival. And one of my favorite things about the festival is that we are pet friendly. So I got to see a lot of cool dogs walking and getting fed some mole and sneaking some mole when the owners weren't looking. But we are a pet friendly festival as well.
Oh yeah, it's always very cool to have, pets are, at least in my house, pets are part of the family. So, yeah, we've always been inclusive also in that aspect as in pets.
So I know that there were a lot of sponsors that made our festival possible.
Yeah, there's a lot of support to the festival. And a few organizations have been coming through for many years, and I would love to shout out, AARP and Sims Metal and Choose Chicago, which are some of our biggest supporters. But also a lot of fun activations that haven't happened in years past. Volkswagen had an amazing installation with an EV SUV.
Yeah, the ID4.
Painted by one of our local artists from Pilsen, Sal Vega. Also, the White Sox came through with a pitching installation, so you get interactive. And we're on 18th Street, we're on the south side, so we're all White Sox over here on this side. So we were so thankful that they were around.
Awesome. And so let's talk about what the festival was all about. It was all about the mole, right?
Oh yeah. I did you have mole? I think I did see a picture of you.
I definitely had some mole. I had mole from my favorite spot. But there was a lot of different ways of serving the mole, which is what I found to be probably one of the coolest things about the festival is, you know, if you go to a ribs festival, they're just serving ribs. You know, if you're going to any kind of food festival, that's it. But the beautiful thing about mole is that it's a sauce that can be put on numerous amounts of different kinds of foods. So whether it's enchiladas or tamales or chicken or steak or anything. And so what you have is you have a market of mole chefs that make sure that they have the most original ideas for how you consume mole. So I know that we have, it's a contest, of course, and we have winners. What are the two categories?
So we encourage every mole vendor to make their best mole how they make it in their household. You know, how the generations pass on these recipes. And so we have two different categories of the best tasting mole. And one of them is the best mole that is chosen by a small group of judges that either they're in the culinary industry, or there's some of our sponsors inclusive. And we have another category, which is the People's Choice. Okay. So these two trophies, we hand make them. One of our artist friends, Victor Montañez, shout out to Victor. He's been designing these trophies for a few years, and people really love them. I mean, they display them in their restaurants, and they get to brag about being the best mole for the whole year. So one of the best moles this year was chosen to be La Ciudad. And La Ciudad is a restaurant that's on 50th and Ashland, and they've been participating at Mole de Mayo for, I want to say, about 7 or 8 years. And they make an excellent mole. It's very homey. It's not spicy. It's just enough for like even kids to taste. And I think that was one of the things that the judges thought, that it was like, wow, this mole has the perfect combination of spiciness and a sweetness. So La
kind
Ciudad,
of universal.
Yes, so La Ciudad, and I did have some quesadillas from La Ciudad, and their mole was excellent.
So La Ciudad won Mejor Mole, or the best mole, judged by judges. And then we have the other category.
Yeah, so the People's Choice. The People's Choice we presented on Sunday, so that we give people a chance to kind of taste a few moles so that they could go online and vote. We had help from familiakitchen.com. They're a small organization with a big reach. They send out recipes from abuelitas, from our grandmas, from our tias, from our aunts, and they have this website where they send out recipes of homemade food of all of Latin America. So they've been growing, and they've been growing with us also. So we got some help from them to kind of organize the whole People's Choice and the judges' tasting. So I want to shout out to them. We also had detourmaps.com. They specialize in doing maps for neighborhoods to kind of, you could find out in what neighborhood is what kind of food or what kind of drinks or what kind of music. So you could go into into their website, to their neighborhood, and you could find out a lot of information and a lot of places where to shop, where to eat, where to have fun. So Detour Maps helped us also to organize the People's Choice. So we create a QR code where people would go into the QR code, and they could vote for any of the restaurants that are participating. And this year, I think this is the 6th year that Ivolina's Tamales won People's Choice.
Yes. So Ivolina's, which is on 18th, close to Halstead Avenue, I stopped by her kiosk, evidenced by the picture that came up, and one of the most interesting things about Evelina's is that she had a tasting of each of her moles, and I think she had like 6 or 7, and she was showcasing her new mole, which is it was a black mole. And one of the coolest things about her kiosk was that when you ordered her Oaxaca-style tamales, which is different because it's wrapped in a banana leaf, she also gave the option to have each and every mole that was offered on the plate, and it was just a plate of wonderfulness.
Yeah, she's originally from San Luis Potosí, but the style of her mole comes from Oaxaca, from Puebla, from San Luis, and I think she has a perfect combination of all those flavors, come together, and
agreed.
And being the winner of the People's Choice at Mole de Mayo kind of reinforces that.
It does reinforce that. And, the difference between her tamales or anybody's tamales, I know that usually they're wrapped in like the corn husk, correct?
Yes.
And it gives it kind of a flavor. But these are actually wrapped in actual banana leaves. And I kind of like am partial to that because I'm Puerto Rican and we have a dish that is also wrapped in banana leaves, and so it kind of reminds me of pasteles,
pastelitos, yeah.
Pasteles, which is our dish, but her tamales are simply amazing, and definitely seems to be a lot of people's favorites because she keeps winning.
So we'll be promoting throughout the whole year the best mole and the People's Choice. These are kind of the benefits that restaurants get by working with ESDC and with Mole de Mayo, and we'll be, bragging about them and really inviting people to come in and have a taste of the authentic and the delicious flavors that they offer. What else we got going on?
Well, I know that we are going to have an installation of the Pilsen letters that you see behind us, and these letters represent what in Mexico is called Pueblo Mágico, but because we're doing it here in the States, and ESDC will be the first in the United States to actualize this kind of installation, we're calling it Barrio Mágico.
Yeah, so these letters are 5-foot letters painted by local artist Sal Vega, and we've been at it for a few years, and finally this year we're finding a permanent location to kind of have a place in the neighborhood where people could take selfies and could kind of put Pilsen on the map as a tourist destination, and not just a out-of-town tourist, but really local tourists. We want tourists from neighborhoods around to come by, to share, to eat, and to have fun and shop in the neighborhood.
Because there's so much to do in the neighborhood.
It's a very artistic and musical neighborhood, and I think these letters kind of reinforce that image that we have of Pilsen, which we call it Barrio Mágico, which is magical neighborhood. So
any idea where these are going to be situated?
Yes, so right now we are speaking with the city, with officials, sponsors, and we're trying to get all our all the information in order so that we could unveil them very soon, and we'll probably be sending out a newsletter and announcing it on our social media pages and on our webpage.
And so like these letters, they're pretty imposing, they're very large, and it's very reminiscent of the letters that they have throughout the cities in Mexico. And so ESDC is proud to be the first to initiate this kind of installation in the States. But we are definitely hoping that cities across the United States will take notice and actually showcase their neighborhoods or their barrios throughout the States.
Yeah, we'll be happy to connect with anyone in the United States so that we push this idea that our neighborhoods are magical and that we have a lot to offer.
So just to recap, we had an amazing Memorial Day weekend for Mole de Mayo. You know, I know that all of the neighbors that were situated within the festival grounds were taken care of and also enjoyed the activities. We had some great music. We had some great musical acts from, you know, from different countries and locally. Of course, the children as well as the adults enjoyed the lucha libre that we had. And also, of course, the food, which was on display, was the star of the show.
Yeah, if people want to see more images or videos, follow our Instagram, Mole de Mayo Fest, or our Facebook, Mole de Mayo.
And then if they want to get in contact with us at ESDC, where can they go?
You could go to our website, esdcchicago.org or moledemayo.org.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Again, Urban Canvas, Pilsen's Economic Renaissance. I'm Peter Vale.
And my name is Jaime Garza.
Thank you.